Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to my podcast, Lead and Bacon. My name's Jesus Barone. Today's a special episode. We're out here in Colorado, the beautiful Colorado. You know what I mean? You see the mountains in the background, the water. And honestly, I'm doing this because I believe that in times like this, we're all very stressed. Even us, people that are combat veteran or seasoned warriors, we all get stressed, and there's a reason why many service members go through the VA or they get mental health treatment, things like that, because we were always exposed to high stressors and being on red alert. Now, granted that, not everybody goes through that, even combat veterans. Some of them have higher resilience levels than others. So, there's a spectrum, right? How stressed or how severe some people deal with emotions. But when it comes to the American public, a lot of us aren't used to dealing with stressors when it comes to dangers, the possibilities of war on our home front, either through jihadist movements or extremist movements, whatever the case may be. We're just not prepared for that, right? We are in a generation where we get stressed by literally anything and everything, right? There's no Wi-Fi in the building, we get stressed. Complimentary breakfast was not included this time, we get stressed. So I guess it's important to talk about the warrior mindset. And this, I can only speak for myself naturally, because not everybody thinks the same. Not everybody prepares mentally the same. But I remember when I went through my deployments, Iraq and Afghanistan, and even Kosovo, as stark as this may seem, the first thing I came to embrace was the fact that I may never come back, right? I embraced the fact that there's a big possibility that I will never get to see my family again. And I came to terms with that. I thought about it, and I sat there on the plane. I remember sitting on the plane and looking at everybody around me, and I said, God, if it's your will for me to go, it's your will for me to go. I appreciate the life that you've given me. I appreciate everything that I've had and I've been blessed with my family. And if it's not for me to be able to experience children, a spouse, a home, things of that nature, I'm thankful regardless, right? And the more I did that, right, through faith and that spiritual connection to my Creator, I found peace. And the more I process through life and I take that same mindset through life, I can deal with some of the worst stressors in the world, whether it be financially, whether it be physically, injury, financial hardship, sickness, things aren't going right. I take that and I say, God, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I thank you for everything you've done for me. And that's why we're out here in the wilderness, right? Well, not the wilderness, but out here in nature. Because as Americans, we need to be able to focus on the fact that everything's temporary anyways. Everything. In order for us to be able to sacrifice for somebody else, to be able to put our lives in danger to protect somebody else, we have to acknowledge and accept that every day, we live every day, but every day we're also closer to the end. And what better purpose than to stand for something good, right? Because it may not be a terrorist attack. It may not be an active shooter event. It could be just, tomorrow something bad happens. We get hit by a car, God forbid, right? Or we don't wake up, our heart simply stops. Too many tacos in my case. Look at these cheeks. You know what I mean? So selfless service comes when you realize that it's not about ourselves. That the world is so much bigger than just what is in our little bubble, right? If you can't stand for something good, if you can't stand for what you believe in, if you can't allow for the freedom of people, right, to live freely, and that you will protect that at all costs, if you don't stand for something other than yourself, you will never be able to function in this life. You will live in fear. You will live in fear of losing your house. You will live in fear of losing your life. You will live in fear of literally any kind of scenario that you can think of. And I'm sorry if it's a little windy, but I'm trying my best here. So, the warrior mindset, it's never giving up. Never giving up. I remember, and most veterans can relate, when you're going through a annual or semi-annual marching ruck march where you have all your kit, your gear, and you're timed, right? You have a time limit. Usually it's 3 hours or 2.5 hours. 3 hours for 12 miles, right? And you have all this weight on your shoulders, and you're just walking and walking and walking, and you feel your neck tightening up, you feel your shoulders cramping, your legs cramping, your back hurting, your feet hurting. You start getting hot spots and then blisters, and your knees are hurting, and you're just thirsty, you're tired, you're hungry, and the only thing you can think of is one foot in front of the other, one foot in front of the other, one foot in front of the other. I'm almost to the goal. I'm almost to the end. It doesn't matter. My pain doesn't matter. And you stop focusing on what hurts. You literally stop focusing on what hurts, and you start focusing on what still works. I'm breathing. I'm not fatigued. I'm okay. This just feels good. Look out outside. Look at the neighborhood. Look at the woods. Wow, it's pretty. And you start thinking of other things. This is what I want to do with my life. This is what I'm aspiring to do. I'm stronger than this. I can do this. This ain't so bad. Okay. I'm starting to pass that guy. I'm starting to catch up to that guy. You see somebody in front of you, and you reel them in little by little, little by little. And you start picking up this level of resilience and strength and inner strength every time you push yourself hard, and you say, I've been here before. I can do this. And you start becoming self-aware and strong and accepting of life and the pain and the torture, and that everything is temporary. No matter how hard it is, everything is temporary. And you realize that the world is so beautiful and life is so beautiful, and the pain of it all makes it even more beautiful, because when the time comes and that you reach that 12-mile mark and you put your ruck down and you lay on it and you say, it's over. I can't believe it's over. I deployed to Iraq in September of 2007 all the way to January of 2009. And I remember hearing we're going on a 15-month deployment, and my mind said, oh my God, this is gonna take forever to get home. We're in 2023, about to go in 2024, and that was a long time ago. And I think about it and I say, where did time go? But I pushed through, and we pushed through, and we all made it. So in these stressful times, in these times of uncertainty, and when there's threats of war, and there's threats of jihadists and terrorists, and the economy is crap, and we don't have enough money, and your marriage is broken, and your kids are bad kids, or whatever the case, or they're sick, or going through sickness, or nothing's going right, just push through. Focus on what's good. I'm alive. I'm breathing. I live in a beautiful country. Look at nature. Look at everything. It's gonna be okay. And when the time comes to function, when you need to move into action, know that everything's gonna be okay. Regardless of the outcome, everything's gonna be okay. Life goes on. So with that being said, God bless you guys. Don't give up. This is Jesus Barone, podcast, Lead and Bacon. Have a great day. Take care.